every day. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, I'm going to explain interaction patterns. So we're going to develop an activity. Please, Marcelo, Isolina, Enrique, Erwin, and Evelyn, click on the link that it is in the chat. Remember that interaction is the communication or direct involvement with someone or something. So I want that you answer which interaction patterns do you use in your lessons. How you can write, you have to write to click on the ellipses that it is there, yes, and you have the tool that it is the T that it allows to add text, please. While we wait, please, Anna, could you please answer the question? Which interaction patterns do you use in your lesson? Anna, are you there? Oh, Raúl, please, could you please answer?
Okay, which interaction? Okay, go, Anna, no problem.
Sorry, I didn't listen to you. Could you please repeat?
Answer the question. Which interaction patterns do you use in your lesson? Remember that interaction is the communication or direct involvement with someone or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
So, Raúl, could you please give us your answer? It doesn't matter. I'm going to explain later.
Okay, I think that would be.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we have role play, interaction teacher-students, interaction student-student, interaction student-teacher, TPR. Okay, and I think that Enrique wants to write communication and group activities. Yes, perfect. I'm going to explain right now. The book explains our 10 interaction patterns. We're going to start from the most teacher-centered to the most student-centered. So the first one is teacher talk. In this case, we're going to have silent response. The teacher is going to have the center of the task. So that means that students are not going to have an initiative or interaction. Then we have choral responses. The teacher gives a model which students have to repeat, which it could be that all the students have to repeat together, or it could be like a phrase or a question. Close-ended teacher questioning. It is based on initiation response feedback, when first the teacher asks to an student, and it is going to have only a right answer. Then the student answers, and the teacher provides feedback. He corrects or approves the answer. Then we have open-ended teacher questioning. In this case, it is similar, but the difference is that right now we're going to have a number of possible right answers, so many students can participate in this activity. Full class interaction. The students debate a topic or do a language task as a class. The teacher in this case acts as a discussion leader. We have the other one is a student initiates, teacher answer. So it could be like an interview where students are going to think and ask to the teacher the questions. The next one, please. Then we have individual work. As you already know, we just have to assign a task and students work independently. Collaboration, students work in pairs or small groups in order to collaborate or do an assigned task to try to achieve the best result. Group work, it is based on an interaction task where you are going to convey information to each other. In this case, the students are going to talk, and they could be like a decision making where they have to interact more. And self-access. In this case, students choose themselves what they want to do and work autonomously on paper or computer-based. So it is important that you know that these partners are used at different times in the lesson and for different purposes. Remember that it is an inappropriate choice for a particular teaching objective may lead to ineffective learning. So it is important to use the appropriate interaction pattern. So right now we're going to practice. I'm going to put a teaching objective on the chat and you're going to answer which interaction pattern fits better according to this activity. So please, could you please, Ervin, read?
Sorry, teacher talk, is that the one you're pointing?
No, you have to read what is on the chat. You have to answer which
Oral,
interaction pattern fits perfectly with this. So please read.
okay, I'm gonna read aloud. Oral fluency, I have a small 15 students class who need more practice in the speaking skill. I want them to do a discussion task where they have to talk about the benefits of learning a foreign language. Well, I would use an open-ended teacher questioning.
Yeah. James, in your case, what you could use it? Remember that we have the other options, work group, interaction, individual work, collaboration.
I think well,
Please
I
write
will,
in the chat. Answer. Everyone answer on the chat, please.
All right.
James, James, continue, please. Sorry for interruption.
I got confused. I will use the collaborative approach.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we are going to have another another example. Yeah. In this case, group work, it could be the best one because in this case, every students have the opportunity to interact. In full class interaction, as well, they are going to interact. But it depends on the number of students because it could be better group work. So then the other one, please, Dorleni, could you read, please?
Okay. Oral fluency. I have a small 15 class.
No, sorry. I think it's
The same one.
Yes, it's the same.
Yes, it's the same.
Yeah, right now.
Okay, comprehension check. We've just finished reading a film review. I want to make sure the class has understood it using the comprehension questions in the book.
So why will you use it, Daniel?
I will use the student initiates and teacher answer because the students will interview the teacher, will ask questions about the movies, so they are going to have their own answers about if they understand all the topic that was discussed.
Yes, it could be as well open and teacher question. Yes, thank you for your participation. Now we're going to talk about lesson preparation.
Okay, thank you very much. I am going to talk about lesson preparation. And for this part, I would like your help, please, answering some questions. So please pay attention. So in the English lesson, we can have different components or different activities. For example, we can plan activities to work on the listening skills. We can also plan activities like reading texts. We can have time in our English lesson. We have time to review of homework, to prepare our students for tests, and also to give our students tests. We can also have oral communicative tasks. So I would like you to know what other kind of activities or components do you include in your English lesson? You can write in the chat, and I am going to choose some classmates here. Can you please, Valentina, tell me what other activities do you include in your English lesson?
I include games according to the vocabulary or what I'm going to teach.
Thank you. Marcelo, what other activities do you include?
Probably vocabulary practice.
Thank you, Emilia.
Maybe video so they understand the topic we are learning.
Very good. Thank you very much. And here, what will happen if you only include, for example, reading activities, or if you only include writing activities in your lesson? Let's see, Carlita, what will happen?
Maybe students won't have the chance to practice other points of the language, and they will just focus on concentrating on developing writing, for example.
Very good. And as Carlita said, they are not going to be able to develop other skills. Students, maybe if you include only reading exercises, there's going to be one student or two students who enjoy that activity because he or she enjoys reading. But the others are going to start like talking, misbehaving, and that's going to be like problems for you, right? So that's why it is important to have different activities during the lesson. So that is lesson variation. So it is going to help you with your, that your lesson is going to be more orderly. You're going to have better learning. And your students and you as a teacher, you're going to be engaged in the class. You're going to enjoy the class. And most importantly, I think you're going to cover a lot of learning styles, right? So there are different ways in which you can vary your lesson. For example, here I have tempo, which refers that you can include fast activities, for example, games, songs. There are other activities like are more reflective, like reading activities. Organization refers to how you work with your students. You can have activities in which students work individually, where students work in pairs or in groups, or also you can interact with your students as a whole class. Also, you can vary your lesson with the material. You can use the course book, but you can bring other visuals also. Also, you can vary with mode and skill. It refers to which skill you are going to focus. If you're going to bring more activities that help you to produce the language, help students produce the language, or they're going to use the receptive skills. Also, the difficulty, if activities that are easier or more difficult, you can use different topics, which there are some topics that focus on grammar, others like extensive reading, where you bring topics for pleasure. Also, you have a mood. Some activities can be fun, serious, and relaxed. Other variation in your lesson could be stir and settle. It refers, there are some topics, for example, some topics, when you discuss and you bring interesting topics, your students are going to participate a lot. And other activities like a dictation, when students are going to be very calm, okay? And finally, we can vary our lesson with active and passive. It refers to the initiative, who is going to start the activity. Sometimes students are eager to participate, and they are going to tell you, teacher, why don't we do this and why don't we do that? And there are other activities where they only have to do what you told them. And here we have some practical tips that you can use in your lesson. And again, can you please help me reading and tell me why you think this tip is useful and why you can use this in your class? Please, the first one. Evelyn, can you help me with the first one?
Put harder tasks earlier. Probably it is because you challenge your students and they are going to pay attention to you at the beginning of the class.
Very good, because at the beginning of the class, students have like more energy, and at the end of the class, they are like more tired and they are going to be more focused on the activities at the beginning. The next one, please, can you help me, Raul?
Okay, do quieter activities before lively ones. I think that this could be because with a quiet activity, we can engage students or catch the attention. And after doing the lively, they can apply what they acquire at the beginning.
Very good. Do quieter activities before lively ones refers that, for example, if you plan a game first, students are very excited, they are very energetic. So, and after the game, you plan to like do a writing activity, they are going to continue laughing because they are still like thinking about the game. So it's better if you do the like, as you see here, the quieter activities first and then the lively ones. The next one, please, can you help me? Any volunteer for the next one?
Keep an eye on your watch. Sorry, what was your question?
Keep an eye on your watch. I think that it means that the teacher must be careful with the time and organizing every single moment of the lesson.
Very good. It refers time management for each activity. Very good. The next one is pull the class together. It refers when you, for example, divide the class in groups. Sometimes they forget that they belong to the whole class. I mean, they are friends, because when, for example, they have like groups and they don't want people from group A don't want to talk to people from group B, especially with kids. They think that they are still part of only one group. So at the end, you have to remind them that they are all mates that have the same objective. Also, the next one is end on a positive note. It refers that you have, as a teacher, you have to tell your students that your students achieve something that they improve or did better than yesterday. So that's a positive note, that students have to know what they achieve. And finally, I'm sorry, don't leave homework giving to the end. Obviously, because you're not going to have enough time to explain homework, you shouldn't do this. And finally, prepare a reserve. Sometimes when students are very active, they participate a lot, you have extra time and you have like 20 minutes left. So it's a good idea to have something up your sleeve if that happens. And finally, the written lesson plan. As you know, the lesson plan, the written lesson plan shouldn't be a pain in the neck for us, but it should be like a help for us, for teachers, because you can use your written lesson plan in class to refer for specific information, because we are humans and we forget, for example, the specific page. So you quickly look at your lesson plan and you can check the activities, the materials that you plan, and things like that. And here, as you see, this is the template that was in the book, and I find it very interesting because here you have the beginning, here you have a later comment, activity 1, later comment, activity 2, activity 3, the ending of the lesson. You have here space to write a reserve activity, the new language to be taught, language to be reviewed, and a later comment on the lesson as a whole. Okay, I'm going to explain this later comment later. And here is important that you should have your lesson plan only 1 page long. It should be only 1 page long because it has to help you instead of making your life more difficult. And finally, how you can use the lesson plan. You can share it with your class. I don't know if you noticed, but at the beginning of our presentation, we show you our agenda. So that's how you can also let your students know what is going to happen in your class. So this is very useful, and I find it an interesting idea that you can apply in your class. Obviously, you can adapt your lesson plan to suit your teaching style and the needs that you have, that your students have, to your classroom environment, the materials that you have, obviously. And finally, here, the later comment, you can use like this to note down things that went well or things that didn't work in your lesson. It helps you to reflect and self-evaluate the techniques and the activities that you use. Some activities sometimes doesn't work, and sometimes you shouldn't include in the next lesson. I find it useful also here that you can write, you can check once if the activity was work well. You can check twice, two checks if the activity was better than you expected. And obviously, if it wasn't good enough, you can have here a suggestion. And obviously, a later comment in the activities can be a reminder of practical things like don't let Kevin sit next to Brian because they start talking or something like that, right? And that would be all. Then we have the evaluation.
All right.
Yes, right now.
Okay, hold on, please. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you because we have 5 minutes, and I don't know if this will take 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Can we go back one slide, please? I have something to mention. Okay, add a later comment. This is very useful, not only for you, teacher, in the class, for all the reasons that Jefferson explained, but if you're researching also, right? When you're writing your final article or your final proposal, writing comments to your lesson plans will help you remember what happened in the class. So is this activity going to work for my thesis? Yes or no? And you take notes on what happened, positive or negative, and this will help you write your final paper in the end. So writing later comments on your lesson plan is useful not only for your students, not only for the teacher, but also for the researcher. All right, please go ahead.
Okay, we're going to watch a video, and then we are going to answer 6 questions about the video related with our topic.
The link will be on.
Please sit down and put your hands behind your back. Very good. Hello, Ethan. Hello, Dina. Louder, okay? Hello, Lily. Hello, Daddy. Very good. Hello. Hello, Leo. Hello, Daddy. Hello, Jack. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Daddy. Very good, everybody. How are you today? Very good. Good job. Let me practice, okay? Jack. Leo. Hello, I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you, Jack. Very good. Good job. Hello, I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you, Leo. Very good. Good job. Hello, I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you, Tina.
Okay, so you can go to the link and answer the question. First of all, you have to write your name. Then you're going to have this game test.
So now I have to write my name, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
first of all, you have to write your name.
Now it is time for your name. Okay, let me share. Oh, Melanie, are you gonna share the game?
No, there is the link.
No, okay. And I'm going to hear the responses.
Yeah, you can share the answers to tell us who is winning.
Okay. Let me share. Sharing. You just have to answer 6 questions, please. I wish you could enjoy this game.
I finished.
Yeah, just I'm refreshing the page.
What a nice game.
I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much. And it was a pleasure to explain to you. I will, and thanks a lot for everyone and also for your participation. Let me get it. I'm getting the classification. No, not yet.
The horror.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's
Because
better.
of my internet.
Never mind. The game was interesting. It was a nice presentation. I like the visuals. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely evening and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.